I truly despair for this country. Like, what's really going on? Are we paying for the sins of our fathers, or are we just regressing as a society? The heroes that we commemorated this weekend must be turning in their graves, because if they lost their lives for this society that thrives on capitalism, tribalism, and racism, a society in which women and children are brutally assaulted and or murdered almost daily, I don't know. A 9-year-old girl was brutally murdered this weekend. Reports indicate that not only was her corpse violated, but the excuse for a human being that did that to her left what remained of her body in a riverbed.
According to the investigators, there are still parts that were not discovered. And as family members, we want to have a meeting where we are going to put our heads together on the way forward. But as soon as we get the program ready, we will communicate unto you. It is a very difficult time to us as family members. We went through questions without getting answers, but we want to assure you that the fact that we have the Almighty God as our pillar, we are comforted and we are strengthened. We would like to say thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I think that is the sign of good leadership, to reach out to your people in time such as this. On behalf of the Kaimu family, as an elder sister, I just want to seal your visit, and I want also to say thank you so much, and may God continue to use you for your subordinates. I thank you.
I'm still reeling, as were many Namibians who took to social media to express their disgust and desire for justice to be served. And this just weeks after women marched in the total shutdown against GBV. I can't.
Since the march, the coalition has been inundated with calls by NGOs, by some authorities, by humanitarians who really want to create immediate safe spaces for women. I mean, that's what the whole march was about. Sadly, so far, the only people who have reached out to me again is the Women and Child Protection Unit, who I am going to see later. I'm still waiting on the Minister of Justice. I'm still waiting on Nampol. And you were at the march. You heard that we have particular recommendations that we made in a memo, things we can help the authorities execute if they just want to sign it into Parliament.
Loide Shikale and her friends decided to attend the Hentis by Fist this weekend and took to social media to decry what she calls blatant racism that she experienced there. Check this out.
Went to Soccer Moon for the weekend with a friend of mine, and Saturday joined up with another friend, went to Hentis Bay. I had never been there, so, and he found out there was a festival, so that was even more exciting because, we'd have more stuff to do. So we got there, to go in, you had to pay $150, so we went in and there were a lot of, Caucasian people. Like, it was really surprising. It didn't feel like I was in Namibia, so it was a completely new experience. A lot of stores, so we did a little bit of shopping, and then I went to the bathroom, and my two friends went into the Ubuntu tent where they're having all these concerts. And then they came back, it's like, oh my gosh, you won't believe, come and see, you won't believe, like, there's so many white people. We were all like, amazed. We've never seen such a big crowd of white people in one place. It's something completely new for us as Namibians, which is fine. So we went in there and could see the looks, weren't so inviting, but they didn't bother us. It's not like it was a first experience with such. After 4, now a little bit more packed. It was more packed. So we're looking around, we wanted a place to sit because they have these long tables with benches where you just go in and you sit wherever there's space. Okay, so first I found this place, and then a friend of mine, Josephine, and I sit there, and this man behind me reaches out, and he says something in Afrikaans, and I don't really understand. So he repeated in English that, to say somebody's sitting there. So I'm like, okay, sure. When the person comes, I'll get up. Yeah, so this lady just out of the blue, like, she sits down, like, abruptly, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I stand up, but Josephine stays sitting there, and then I see there's a table across where there's now more space. So I just go and sit there, like, but on the edge of the table, of the bench, facing outwards. somebody, nudges me on the shoulder, and this girl is like literally in my face but she's wearing her shades, and he's like, why are you, suddenly interrogating me, who are you? I'm like, what do you mean, who am I? He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, no, just like everybody else watching the can't sit here, this is for my people, there's no space. I'm like, but there's ample space, you can sit there. I'm like, my brother's girlfriend is sitting there, so I'm like, okay, well, when she comes back, I'll get up. The same as I said to the other man. So now I'm just reading something on my phone. A little moment later, it's a shove. So just as I'm moving, I guess, but I didn't look around because I know that if the other person came, if there's still space, like I'll still be able to sit there. And then she shoves it, and then I'm like, okay, so I continue to some seconds later, it's a harder shove. And the next thing I'm on the ground. My blazer, my shades fell off. So I get I was in a moment of confusion and shock. I'm like, how the hell? So I think about looking around, and then these people are smiling all of a sudden.
This story has elicited all kinds of responses from Namibian society. I'm sorry to say, mostly ignorant ones, but it goes to show the level of rot in our society. People are literally bubbling over with hate. The alleged offending party also responded to Loide's post saying that Loide wasn't shoved, but rather, I then moved up a slight bit and in doing so moved closer to her with our shoulders touching. In a very dramatic act of falling, the woman leapt to the side, falling to the ground. I immediately apologized and offered to help her up, saying, I'm so sorry, are you okay? This can be verified by various bystanders, in fact. She angrily got up and glared at me and walked away. After a few minutes, she returned yelling at me with these exact words, you will not survive, you will die before the end of the year, you racist, and then stormed off. This, Loide vehemently denies.
I look at her because I'm expecting dude, that was, it was maybe a bit, I moved too quickly or whatever, sorry or anything, but they were just laughing, they just looked at me like laughing. And so I get up and I brush myself off the sand and I go to them like, how could you do that? Why couldn't you just have told me that there's somebody that's sitting there so I can just stand up? And then so my friends told me, she's like, what happened, And I'm like, and I'm explaining to them, no, she just really shoved me, and I'm looking now to them. The mother or the aunt, whatever, is busy giving her a high five. That is what broke my heart. She posted this thing on Facebook where she's telling all sorts of things that, she said sorry, and she tried to help me up. Absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I have many Caucasian friends, so this is not something that, I just decided to do out of spite. Had she actually said sorry, and that's something that I was actually looking from, like, okay, maybe it was a mistake. Had she said sorry or even just made an attempt to help me up, and the fact that they said when now that lady came, the brother's girlfriend or whatever came, the fact that they spread themselves out, that there's only a little bit of space this side and a little bit of space this side so that you aren't able to sit there, that says a lot.
There were shows of support for both parties involved in this. So the lesson here really is communicate. The one thing we human beings have mastered is colorful language that allows us to express just how we feel. We've also got innate compassion and the wisdom to communicate effectively so that the message is received. The mayor of Henties Bay says he's doing all he can to improve race relations at the town.
Nothing formal has been reported to my office regarding racism. But of course, people are having, under the disguise of racism, issues or things that are apparently happening during the entertaining times, like during the evenings or at facilities where they are enjoying. From my office, one that we tried was to integrate the organization of events like Development Expo and fishing competitions so that big activities can be organized from the same committee. I encourage the committees, the Henties Bay Fish Festival of Tourism Association to have local community members on board, and they were very much willing. I don't know how it ended. The same with the local authority Development Expo organizing committee. I encourage them to involve or include the local residents so that we can try to unite the two races, including all the tribal groups. Of course, it's a challenge for a society that has been so divided along the racial lines, including the tribal lines. But we are trying our level best to get these people meaningfully involved in the organizing of such important activities. What I've learned this year is that we had very minimal involvement of all the groups. For example, the Fish Festival was organized separately. I've seen the activity organized in a way that others were not kind of partaking. The same also the expo, the Handispa Expo. I've observed that very minimal people from the white community were actually active, but I could see at least some that were coming on board, including the gala dinner.
Shame. Racism is like a mutant gene, but it's just foolish. We should really feel sorry for them, like we do the mentally challenged. It's a disease, but it's curable, and we will cure them one by one. Adam Katsavelos went on holiday in Greece and posted this ignorance right here, in a private group, mind you.
Let me give you a weather forecast here. Blue skies, beautiful day, amazing sea, and not one inside. Heaven on earth. You cannot beat this. You cannot beat this.
South Africans don't play, yo. Within days, they had his address, his phone number, his kids' names, the name of the school they go to, he and his wife's places of employment, and they went loco. It is alleged that he has effectively been relieved of his duties in the family business, with companies using their products also having distanced themselves from the family. Nike, where his wife's work sales were affected, and people went as far as calling for his kids to be removed from school. Staff at the family business are reported to have been living in fear for their jobs, and a case has been lodged against him. You gonna learn. The EFF even made videos outside his home and WhatsApped them to him. Duh.
Yeah. 35 Juvenile, Francis Road. We are here. We are here. We just want to talk. The Kafirs are here. Our supply, the sky is still blue. It has not changed. We are here, Atam. We are here for you, Atam. Please, Atam, we are here. Don't waste our time, man. We just want to talk. We're trying to talk with you, man. Please come out. Come out. We are here. 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 We are meeting here. We want Atam. Atam, please come out, man. The roads are closed now. Atam, we are waiting for you. The are here. Stop a fact. The are here.
On the flip side, some South Africans, having endured decades of this disease, racism, were able to find humor in the situation, giving birth to the Adam Katsavelos challenge.
Right, guys, so I thought I'd just give you a weather update here. Beautiful day, blue sky, rock pools in the mountains, and not a Katsavelos inside. It's heaven! You can't beat this.
Let me give you guys a weather forecast. Chilling on the couch, drinking wine, not a single baby in sight. You can't get... Okay, Nyeza.
Let me do a quick weather forecast here. Look at this beautiful parking lot. Amazing cars, not a car guard inside. This is beautiful. You cannot beat this.
Let's see what illustrator Dudley Viles come up with this week. I saw this very disturbing post about the Usakos Hospital's food this week. It read, Usakos State Hospital, that's how we have been treated. Bread not even sealed, no coffee or tea, lunch just pap with soup, no meat, no fruit. What's going on with government? I asked the communications person at the Ministry of Health, Tutu Hakena, for a comment on this, and crickets. And up next, it's Crime Watch.
Road accidents are still a very big concern in our country. We've had a lot of accidents recently, especially over the long weekends when people have a limited time to get to their destinations because of the fact that they've got long distances to travel. But we've got a problem on our roads. People are driving inconsiderately of each other. They are also not making sure that their vehicles are in good roadworthy condition. We've had a few cases again of pedestrians that get bumped crossing the national highways. This is number one, not allowed, but they still do it. They run across the highways in front of moving vehicles and then get bumped. One of the reasons is visibility. We are on the roads without our headlights on. This is not allowed. By law, you're supposed to have your headlights on, and if you are caught, to be fined. But it is for your own good to be visible to the other road users, especially dark colored vehicles, and also silver vehicles reflect off the tar. So if you don't put your headlights on, you're low visible, and that means you won't be seen when people are trying to overtake things like slower moving vehicles or trucks. Another problem on our roads, a major problem, we've had a lot of accidents involving livestock. People are not taking and tending to their livestock next to the roads. Yes, they allow their livestock to go and graze on the grass that is near the roads, but because they are left unattended, they tend to stray into the roads, and this is a cause of many accidents on our roads. We've just recently had donkeys here by Omea that were standing on the top of a hill. What happens is you come around the hill and there you hit a donkey standing in the middle of the road. The only way you can protect yourself is to stay alert so you can stay alive. And as I said, we must make an urgent appeal to farmers who are farming near national highways and roads to please tend to your animals. They are causing unnecessary loss of life on our roads. But we must also remember we live in Africa and there are wild animals like oryx and kudus, and even one case in Oshivela recently of a hyena getting hit. So please be alert, be wise, and save lives.
On the shift this week, I had the honor of hanging out at 99FM studios with musician and DJ Treza Cooper and spoke to her about the life of a DJ. Check this out.
It is Dre coming through on that one titled In My Feelings on 99FM. You're listening to Hitsville on this lovely Monday, the 20th of August 2018. And just quickly taking some time out to remind you about the Hop Heads Craft Beer Festival that's taking place next month. Now, the festival encompasses craft breweries from both South Africa and Namibia, showcasing their unique flavors. Hello, what's up? What? Give me a hug. What is this? What's up? Welcome. Yes, my safety hat. It's very simple, you know. So what do you want to know exactly? How I go in air? What happens?
Why did you choose radio, by the way?
I didn't choose it. It chose me, actually. It was never my intention to be a radio presenter. I just auditioned at UNAM Radio 7 years ago, and I got an SMS back that told me that I made it through the audition. So. Yeah, everything else is history. Exactly. Yeah.
Great. What do you enjoy about radio? What's the best part?
Just the music, for me, is the best part, because I'm an artist as well. So I love that part about it, and also just informing people about latest news and what's going on in the world, and just keeping people informed. You get to go to so many awesome events just because you're a presenter. So you get to go to all these cool exclusive events, and I guess that's also one of the best parts of being a radio presenter.
Who's your favorite international artist that you've met and had on your show?
Yeah, I can't say I've had my favorite international artists on, but I got to interview Nia Nell. She was here was this year? Yeah, this year she came in because she had a show at the warehouse. So I got to interview her. She was an amazing, she had this great energy about her. So it was a really fun interview. And I also got to interview Napalma. I don't know if you know Napalma.
Yes.
They were also here from Brazil, and yeah, they were also pretty awesome to interview. So yeah.
Excellent. So show me what you do. What do you do when you here every day?
Okay, so when I get in, when I do my introduction, first thing I do is obviously position the mic in front of my mouth.
Big mic.
Right? It's very big. And then this is the mic that we use in studio. This is our mic, the main mic. So you push that up, you push this one down. This is the volume of the music playing on the system. So you push this one down when you push this one up, okay? And then everything else here, this is our phone lines. Before we get there, mic 2, mic 3, which is over there.
Okay, cool.
And then we have the telephone line. If we get a call, then we push this knob up, so people can call in. Yeah. So we press this button. This is like when you hook the phone out. Okay. That button over there. And then over here is the volume in studio. This one right here. That's how we control in studio. And then that's basically it. Everything else we don't use on this little computer over here, this little panel, because everything else is more technical. So we just focus on the main things that we need to focus on, which is controlling the mic volume, which is controlling the volume of the music playing outside that you guys hear when you listen to 99 FM. Okay. So that's basically all that we control. Everything else has already been set the way it's supposed to be. So we don't touch anything else on the mixer.
Your target audience for 99 FM, what kind of music are you guys playing and why? Who is your target audience? Who do you play that?
Most of our music that we play is taken from Billboard's Top 40, Billboard Top 100. We take most of our music from there. And we target 24-year-olds, 24 to 30 upwards, if I'm not mistaken. That's our target market. So it's mostly adults, young adults like myself who listen into 99 FM, older people, maybe like 30 and above, because the content that we have is looks more to cater to that age group. Yeah.
And what time do you have to start in the morning? What time do you have to be here?
I'm at work, okay. I don't want to make a confession right now, but I start work every morning at 8. Right. And I finish work at 4 because I also do the news trends for the station. So when I come in the morning, the first thing I do is open my news tabs to see what's going on in the world, what news is interesting, and more importantly, is relevant to the station, because we look at certain kind of content when it comes to 99 FM. So that's what I do when I come in the morning. Most awesome part is just, I think for me, it's just waking up and doing something that I love. It's easy. It's an easygoing job, It's not easy in the sense that anybody can do it, because it's not that easy when it comes to doing it. It actually takes work. We have to come in, we have to sit down, prep for our shows, look for content, look what we're going to talk about on the show, and make sure that it's relevant to our audience, basically.
I express myself very colorfully at times.
I know that.
And I'm quite unable to, rein myself in. How do you control it? Like when you're particularly passionate about it and you have to reel it in and contain yourself, how do you check yourself?
There's just an inner button that you push. Like you just push it, you cannot, because obviously with you, our opinions don't really matter a lot when it comes to being on air. We don't express our opinion and enforce that opinion on our listeners. We actually want them to come through and give us their opinion. So I wouldn't say we're trained. I think it just innately becomes you just get used to not expressing yourself. Even if the topic that you're talking about is something that you really feel in your heart, touches you, you need to just keep your composure at all times. Contain yourself.
Ruby, so can I also
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Okay, there you go. So your headphones over there.
Check this out.
Okay.
So you grab the mic.
You grab the mic. You
DJ Gabby gets on the microphone. Thanks for watching. It's a wrap, y'all.
That's all we have for you. Stay woke by subscribing to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. It's a wrap.